At ICCU, to make a difference, it takes just one connection. A friendly face, an open ear, a helping hand. And then something amazing happens. We find out that we're better together. This is what Idaho Central does in our communities every day. We help our members with the small things and big dreams. This is what believing in you is all about. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
It may have been a new job or starting a new business. Maybe you were looking for a better place to raise a family. It's possible you were returning home to the place you love, to Idaho. Whatever your reason for coming, 40 years or 4 months ago, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
So keep supporting these guys. I mean, it means the world to us. And we, in the end, when we're cutting down the nets, we'll remember that there was a group of fans that got us through all this. In the end, when we're cutting down the nets.
As we near 2 minutes to play. Lines up to 3. Tyson back and hard.
On the reverse. Oh, look at that.
Ashworth guarding Shaver. Shaver pulls it back. Leaves his feet. Shaver for 3. Stunner at the spectrum. 11 straight wins for the Broncos.
Shaver with the ball now. Spins from the double. Rises and it's a save. What a shot.
In the end, when we're cutting down the nets, we'll remember that there's a group of fans that got us through all this.
Howdy folks, Captain here. We have begun our initial descent into Las Vegas. Currently 63 degrees, clear skies. For those college basketball fans joining us on this afternoon's flight from Boise, I wish you good luck in the Mountain West Tournament. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Happy semifinal day of the Mountain West Tournament. We are broadcasting live from Stadium Swim outside at Circa Resort and Casino. Look at this place. They got the betting odds up there. They got the games on the TV. We got Indiana and Illinois going on right now. We got people already partaking in the pool. This is just an amazing spot, and we are pumped to be here today. A ton of Boise State fans are going to be out here getting some pool time, getting ready for the game tonight. And yes, there is a game tonight because the Boise State men's basketball team hung on barely to take down Nevada 71-69 last night. Boise State gets the win, and Boise State moving on to the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament where they will play Wyoming. Appreciate everybody for checking us out here. BJ Rains with you. Colin Mitchell is here as well. And yes, this is not some green screen. We are live at Circa Resort and Casino at the Stadium Swim. Jay Tust is going to join us a little bit as well to preview this game. So it's going to be a fun show. Get your comments in. How you feeling? How'd you wake up today? Boise State's got a game tonight. That's got a pretty exciting feeling for you, I assume. Have you been able to take a deep breath and relax from last night's game? Just the nerves had to be crazy for Boise State fans out there on that final shot. Just sitting there courtside thinking about Boise State's tournament hopes and getting over that hump of the first game, all relying on one shot there at the end of the game. It's just crazy how one shot can change so much. But the comments are rolling in. We got the Boise from Jordan and the State from Curtis. Joe is in the car. Hopefully he's not driving at the moment. Heading to Las Vegas with my wife and 5 kids. Let's go. Appreciate you, Joe. Again, Jay Tusk going to join us shortly. We appreciate all of our great sponsors for helping us out here. So pumped to be at Stadium Swim today outside. There's rumors Jay Tusk will be out here getting some sun, getting some tan. Looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun today. And again, Boise State, you got all day to celebrate and get ready because you got a game tonight. So 71-69 was the final last night for Boise State and Nevada. Marcus Shaver Jr. obviously wasn't his full self, but he was able to do enough to play, and we're going to get ready to welcome Jay Tust in here in just a minute. I'm doing some technical stuff behind the scenes as we talk here, and let's bring on Jay Tust. How about this? How do I take this one out? There he is. We got the three-way going here, and we take off this one. Boom. We got it. What's up, Jay?
Hey, that's my word, BJ.
Oh, well, you're joining us, so I figured I was allowed to use it.
Good enough. Good enough.
Not gonna lie, my setup out here by the pool looks a little nicer than your hotel room right now, but it was just exciting waking up today, Jay. For we've been a lot of these tournaments, you would have already been on the drive home right now, and we've been changing our flights to go back to the airport. So for Boise State to find a way, barely, to win last night, and now to have another 24 hours for fans, for media, for everybody to get excited about another game tonight, it's a feeling we're not that familiar with, but it's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I think the way yesterday's game started, everybody that's covered this team for any significant amount of time, whether it be you, me, Will Hall, the way Nevada started that game, we're all looking at each other like, oh no, we have seen this here in Las Vegas way too many times. But somehow the Broncos were able to weather the storm. They went on that 16-2 run in the first half. And they really refound their rhythm. They also kind of were able to slow tempo down again. Grant Sherfield then tried to take over the last 7-8 minutes of the game. And, man, tip of the cap to the Wolfpack. They played incredible last night. But Boise State's able to get it done. And a really big victory for the program. And I know that when you look at opponents, yes, Boise State has beaten tougher opponents this year. But in terms of just that cloud that's kind of hung over the program down here in Las Vegas, man, it's almost like the weather today, BJ. Yesterday it was kind of overcast and a little gloomy, and today it is beautiful and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, and that kind of feels like, the Boise State basketball program right now.
Todd saying, why aren't you doing the show from in the pool? Maybe we can get Colin Mitchell to jump in here before the show ends. But
literally nobody wants to see that, Todd.
Perry says, yeah, no. I think Key Job got into Blackshear's head with that play. That was a scary play there, Jay. With you had to call it, I guess, with the new rule, even if it's unintentional, because you can't just swipe and go, I was going for the ball, and clock guys across the side of the head. Yeah. It was a rough play, but I guess they got a little lucky. He missed both the free throws there.
Leon Rice even said that, though, that, hey, you hate it, but you kind of have to call it.
Well, he said that because they won. It was a little easier to say that after they won. But.
True, very, very true. It just the timing of it sucked. You absolutely know with Abu, there's no intent there. He just put himself in a bad spot. You could tell immediately he knew that he probably shouldn't have done it. He was going for a loose ball, but in the end, though, it was irrelevant. Somebody was shining down on Boise State because. Yeah, Nevada went to the free throw line and missed both of those free throws. I think both of them were short too.
Yeah, they were. And I'll admit it, Jay. There was one point in the game where I think it was 28-20 or something. I looked over at you and I said, Boise State's not winning this game, because you're right. Yeah. It was that all too familiar feeling where they get down early. The other team's hot. We saw it against Utah State a couple of times where Sam Merrill and Kobe, whatever, McElwain. They both had big games one year. And there's just some of these games where you just get that feeling. And I know it's becoming a cliche. We keep saying that this team is different and all that, but down 8, you're tense. You're the number 1 seed. They know the history, even though they haven't been a part of it. We've been asking them about it. For them to turn the tide with that 14-0 run and take control of the game, take the lead, and never give it up the rest of the game, I think that does say a lot about this team, because in years past, they wouldn't have come back and won that game.
I mean, there's been a couple of instances where that's been the case, BJ, but this team time and time again has proved that they are really good at handling adversity, and they handled it so well again yesterday. And I think the thing that is kind of cool about them is they have been this slower tempo team all season long. But, when teams try to speed it up, they prove that not only can they go a little bit, but they can ultimately hang in there long enough to, dictate to redictate the tempo, if you will, to slow things back down. And that's exactly what happened. Turned it into a dogfight. I know we'll probably get into this more in just a moment, but now that they're going into now that they face Wyoming tonight, I expect another battle in the 60s, an absolute slugfest, because Wyoming and Boise State, they kind of mirror each other in terms of tempo and how they operate.
Well, again, he's Jay Tust, sports director at KTVB. My name's BJ Rains. We're broadcasting live outside here at the Stadium Swim Resort and Casino. It's at Circa. You got the betting lines. You got the games already on. My Auburn first half bet is off to a rough start as they are down 6-3, but we are having some fun out here. And you're right, Jay, the weather warmed up a little bit today. Yesterday it was windy. It wasn't great, but it's a great day out here today for basketball. And Jay, it sounds like based on the comments, based on talking to some people, there's going to be a lot more Boise State fans flying in town today for the semifinals. The crowd it was better than it's been, but it was still, not amazing. And they're certainly going to be outnumbered by Wyoming fans tonight, though, Jay. The Wyoming, man, they travel well, and when they're winning like they are now, I thought Wyoming brought a huge crowd, and that's going to be a factor tonight.
Yeah, I will say this. I felt like there was a little bit of a presence, though, from Bronco Nation or the members that were there. And I think the thing it's cool that some of the fans are doing right now is just showing how much fun this can be. Joel York's done an awesome job of that on social media and stuff too, hyping up the fact that Kellen Moore was in attendance yesterday. And you almost create that feeling that if you're not here, you're missing out on something a little bit. And there are members of Bronco Nation back home that probably have that feeling today. Awesome game yesterday. We saw every game in the Mountain West yesterday, with the exception, I guess, of the very final one, which was still only decided by 6 or 7 points, I believe, San Diego State and Fresno State. But every single game was decided at the buzzer. I mean, just a phenomenal day for basketball in the Mountain West. And if you're a fan and you can afford to take a trip like this, it's probably worth it. You're not only are you going to get to watch a lot of quality basketball and cheer on your favorite team, but it's Vegas, man. Like, there's plenty of entertainment.
Yeah, and we talked to Leon Rice last night. You did as well, and he was making a plea, which we'll play here in a little bit, for fans to jump on a plane or get in the car. And we saw Joe, who already commented that he woke up this morning and him and his family of 5 decided to drive down for the game tonight. So we'll see how many Boise State fans decide to make the trip. You got Melinda here saying, my daughter and husband arrived this morning. Need all the Broncos in the arena that we can get. Jordan, I think he did this intentionally. Coach Alfred and Reno had to go. Then they're saying Coach Alfred, haha. Speaking of flagrant, did you see a foul in the San Diego State game, Jay? They said way worse, but they called it a common foul. I didn't see that game or what they were talking about. Sorry about that. How about the huge block shot on Sherfield by Kejab?
Yeah, man, it is so cool sometimes to. I'm not trying to brag, BJ, but
we were right there, man. We were as close as you could get.
It really is, and it is a different energy. And you hear the players talking, you see the sweat dripping off of them. When you're down there that close, the game really does take on a little bit of a new life. It's cool, and to see those guys dig in, whether it be Akot or Abu or even Shaver gutting it out, despite the fact that he's been dealing with an illness, which I know you've talked about, but all that it was cool, man. Like it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes even as we're covering these games, it's okay to get lost in the moment for a second because that makes us, pass along the emotion to our viewers or our readers. And it was very easy to do that last night with how the team played.
Kurt Fuller chiming in. This year does have a different feeling. Had a slow start. Rudy calling it Ali Frazier 3 tonight. We'll get to that in a minute here. Jordan asking, how does Wyoming travel so well? Going to be a hostile crowd. And Rudy sums it up nicely. One word, Jordan. Laramie is how he gets folks ready for.
They've always traveled well, BJ. I mean, even in years where Wyoming isn't great, they still travel like a decent amount of people. And it's funny. If Linder goes back to Wyoming and they do this again next year, wait till you see like the crowd that they probably even bring down next year, because back when Larry Nance Jr. was there and it was peak, man, it felt like you were at a home game in Laramie, despite the fact it was being played in Vegas.
This is an interesting question. Your comment here from Tanner, and I totally agree. I wish the Mountain West didn't put the ticket allotment in the same sections as Wyoming, San Diego State, going to be an odd seating arrangement. So 3 of the 4, basically, guys, there's they spread it out into fourths of the arena, and 3 teams each kind of have layers of the different corners. And 3 of the 4 teams playing tonight are in the same corner. So you're going to have one corner of the arena that's completely full, and then the other is going to be, probably have some fans will be a little more spread out. So the Wyoming and Boise State fans are literally going to be sitting right next to each other, Jay, tonight for the game. It's going to be a little odd.
Or awesome.
We'll go
Matt Boucher, be careful. Actually, I probably should say Wyoming fans, be careful.
We'll see if Vern Harris is refereeing tonight. Matt, maybe he'll find 20th row. There he is. He's still gone. We still heard you up there, Matt.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay? I think it means a big deal, and I've been saying this for a while. Just that monkey off their back, so to speak. That first game, you get the win. I know these players weren't part of it, but as I said, I don't care if it's a 20-point win or a guy misses a shot at the buzzer. You take a deep breath, and now you get to be the team that comes in. You've already played in the arena. You got the feeling that Nevada had in their first game. Now you get the win, and you get to kind of reset. And I said, and maybe this is the homer in me, whatever. I'm getting caught up in the moment. That's fine. But I said before the tournament, if they could find a way to win the first game, I thought they were going to win the tournament, and I stand by that. I think yesterday was going to be the hardest game of the three from the standpoint of just the first game jitters, all that kind of stuff. Maybe not from a pure talent perspective, but I just feel like that was going to be a challenging game for a lot of reasons. And now that they got by it, they're going in with house money. I think they've locked up at worst an 8-9 game, in the tournament. I think they have a chance to get to a 7 or even a 6 if they win this tournament. But I just think now you got the first win. No one can say you choked if you lose tonight to Wyoming. You're in the semifinals. Like, I think you're playing with house money tonight. I think that it's a huge weight off their shoulders. Do you see that at all?
Yeah, I do, and I kind of agree with you. At least locking up like an 8-9 seed. All this stuff is going to be calculated up here in just a couple of days on Selection Sunday. And as good as Nevada is, at least their pieces, Grant Sherfield's one of the best in the country. I mean, he's phenomenal, man. But as good as they are, if you still look at their resume this year, that would have been, I believe, a quad 3 loss for Boise State yesterday, which would have been an excuse to maybe bump them down the line to like a 9 or a 10 or something like that. But by avoiding a loss in that game, tonight's a quad 1 game. And as we've seen all year long, quad 1 games, if you lose them, they don't really impact you too much. And I'm not saying Boise State's going to lose tonight. I'm just saying, like, as we said with, the Nevada game at home, it was the last game that could really hurt Boise State. And that was a game yesterday that would have impacted their resume a little bit. But now that they've won, house money from here, man. Like, it really is. And I got to say, the way this team's carrying themselves right now, the groove that they have found, I really do like their chances. Leon Rice, I would say that he alluded to it, but he did more than that, BJ, saying his team's a little banged up right now. So once you get to 2 games in 2 days, 3 games in 3 days, that could be a little tough, especially, if you remember, BJ, after Emmanuel Acott returned that first game, Leon was hesitant about committing to him coming back the second game because, in between those games, they had to see how his knee was going to react, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're doing that 3 games in a row, it will be interesting to see how E-Man's knee reacts. And he played phenomenally yesterday. 22 points, I believe the 4th most ever by a Bronco in a Mountain West tournament game. 4 threes. His 6th game with 4+ threes this season, tied with Derek Marks for the 10th most all-time in a single season during the Leon Rice era.
There we go. I was going to get to this tweet. Curtis was saying, please tell us Jay is about to throw down some stats for us right now. What else you got for us, Jay, in terms of the historical perspective on this one?
I think kind of a fun one for me last night was when Mladen Armush grabbed his first offensive rebound. It was his 100th offensive rebound of the season. The only other player in the Leon Rice era that has cracked the century mark on the offensive boards is Ryan Watkins, and he did it twice. And I do have to say, man, he did it a little bit of different fashion there, BJ. Our Mladen just cracked 100. Back in Ryan's senior season, he had 170. I mean, that just shows you how unbelievable.
Well, Boise State's got eight games left till they cut down the nets at the Final Four, so he could get there maybe.
He's
had 10 in a game this year, right? He's had 10 in a game this year, right? Come on.
You just have to stack like 7 more of those on top of each other.
As we kind of turn the tables here to tonight's game, Jay, I think that is a big Mladen Armush is a big factor in his defense on Graham Ike. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a little bit, but he said he estimates it in the stats say it's about 50 post touches a game where it's either Maldonado or Ike posting up in a game. So you're talking 50 times a game, either Ike or Maldonado are posting up and the offense works out of that. They either try to get to the free throw line or they kick it out to their shooters for 3. And how Ike is able to, battle inside, Mladen Armush has to stay on the court. Nothing against Lucas Milner, nothing against Najee Smith, nothing against these guys, but the only real chance they have of slowing down or making it a little more difficult on Graham Ike is having Mladen Armush in the game. He played 30 minutes last night. I think he's a huge key to this game. Remember, last time they played in Laramie, 33 points 10 rebounds for Graham Ike. He had 33 points. And I think he was like 14 of 15 from the foul line or something. So they've got to find a way to, and it just how this game is officiated tonight, Jay, if they let him just continue to drop that shoulder and get into guys and get to the line or get close to the basket. The thing about Mladen is, Jay, he doesn't take a lot of charges. He's not a guy that flops back.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe you put Degenhardt on him early in the game and try to just, you know what, take a couple flops and see if you can get him in early foul trouble. I don't know what you do, but I do think that Graham Ike is a huge key tonight and how this game is officiated.
Yeah, not a bad idea, BJ, especially because, one thing we talk about, we brought up that 16-2 run right in the heart of that thing. Guess who took a charge? Tyson Degenhardt. And guess what happened right after it? Emmanuel Acott hit a three. I mean, like, that was the moment that you were like, hey, these guys got it. They got their win back. They got their back in rhythm. And so,
by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you said how close we're sitting to the court. Emmanuel Acott hit a three where he was basically like 3 feet from us when he shot the ball. And the guy from Nevada literally had I think it was Cambridge, had his hand in his face. He jumps over him. And we were like, we literally could have touched out and touched Eman. And you see how big these guys are and how amazing they are when you can get up and with a guy in his face. And then we didn't even see the shot go in because the guys are so big. They're right in front of us and the ball goes in and you're like, man, and that was a huge shot, I remember. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but yes, it is when you're up close and you see these guys. Cambridge, I just remember exactly the play you're talking about. Cambridge had a hand right in his face, and he goes up and rises and hits this three. And at 6'8", I mean, not too many guys are going to have a chance to block that shot. And I thought that up close and personal, you really see a guy like Emmanuel Acott's size and athleticism.
No, I honestly, BJ, I really agree with you. I mean, I kind of had a moment when Eman was on the opposite end of the court, but late in the shot clock, he had the ball in his hands and he threw up a three. And even though he missed it, you kind of realize why he's special in those moments. There's not a lot of 6'8" guards that Boise State's going to be facing, at least right now.
Maldonado is one of them, though, unfortunately.
Hunter Maldonado is good. I know. The moment I said that, I thought about Hunter. So that's why this game's such a tough matchup for Boise State. But either way, that just kind of made you realize that's something that kind of makes Eman a little special. So,
what do you make of the EK matchup, though? Back to that. Sorry.
It should be awesome. Graham gave Boise State fits, obviously, and Leon Rice wasn't willing to give us any even inkling of what they're going to do to try to slow him down yesterday. But he went for 33, and that was one of the greatest individual scoring performance against the Broncos in the Leon Rice era. I believe top 5 all time against the Broncos since Leon Rice has been their leader. So it's going to be crucial that Mladen stays out of foul trouble and helps combat Graham. And another thing, we talk about health. Mladen has had his issues a little bit throughout the season with his shoulders, and he certainly seems to be better now. But if you kind of put 2 and 2 together, when Graham had that massive game against Mladen and the Broncos, like that was kind of like the point in time where Mladen was really battling his shoulders. And so they finally got some time off after that, and that really played in his favor. So we'll see if he can bounce back today and have a better performance against one of the best. You talk about a guy that I know that you put him on your first team, BJ. You talk about a guy that is absolutely deserving of being a first teamer this year. Graham Ike is very deserving. Anybody that can average close to 20 and 10 in this league this year is an absolute stud. And he's only a sophomore too. I mean, Boise State's going to have to deal with this guy for years to come.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's just I think it's him and Maldonado. It's 2 guys. I think, are they still the top scoring duo in the country, Jay? If they're not, they're close. They're right there. They were at one.
I don't know if they are right now, but it's probably close, BJ. I mean, they're very, very good.
Perry saying basically the semifinals, 4 teams all going to the big dance. Pretty impressive. And, I was talking to John Mallory from KTIK Radio, Jay. We were over there getting Bachmeyer, I think it was, on Monday over at Boise State. And, he says for all this chaos, he says I think the top 4 teams all reach the semifinals. And it's so funny, Jay. We talked all year about, and for the last couple of weeks, this Mountain West tournament's going to be insane, which it has been. The games have all been close.
Yeah.
3, like you said, 3 shots at the buzzer. But in the end, the top 4 teams are all here playing tonight.
I still think that absolutely shows the depth of the league, BJ, and it shows how tough these teams these 4 Mountain West teams that should be in the NCAA tournament are, because they can take blow after blow from these quote unquote lower tier teams. I mean, this finally hit me, BJ. It's fun because we get to mingle with fans a little bit down here. You see somebody wearing a Utah State shirt or a Wyoming shirt or a New Mexico shirt, and you kind of go back and forth for a little while. And saw a Utah State fan, and after I got done talking with him, it kind of hit me. I don't know if Utah State got any worse this year. Like, their record did. I just think the league got so much damn better that their record got worse. Like, I don't like Wyoming in years past. Utah State in years past. This Utah State team, they would be a top 3, top 4 team in the league probably. I mean, they're not bad. I just think everybody else in the Mountain West got so much better that it knocked them into the lower half of the league. And so they gave Colorado State everything the Rams could handle. And then obviously the Wolfpack against Boise State and even Fresno State, man, they were locked in a fist fight, a brick fight, if you will, with San Diego State. And UNLV had a shot, a Hail Mary at the buzzer, basically, to knock off Wyoming. I mean, I still think it demonstrates how deep and talented this league is, BJ, even though there haven't been any upsets.
No doubt about it.
Every team so far has been pushed to the limits.
Big Wade saying the defense is poetry. Defense controls the tempo, control the game. Watching the other tournaments, this team can beat anybody. What do you make, Jay? Final thing. I want to play from Leon. I want to hear from Leon Rice, but for your final thing from you, and we'll let you go. But we do have a interview coming up with Leon Rice that we filmed last night that has not aired yet. So some exclusive Leon Rice content previewing the game tonight. But for you, another game, another day to prep for, and just Boise State, Wyoming, the third matchup. They're 1-1. Somebody called it Ali Frazier 3. But remember, it was like tied with 4 minutes left at Wyoming. Boise State could have won that game. They had a foul call on Degenhart for his 5th foul. Remember, he was standing straight up under the basket, and they called his 5th foul to foul him out. Yeah. And then, again, that was the win that ended the 14-game winning streak, by the way, too. So I think this team's on a mission. I think they want Colorado State tomorrow in the championship. They want to be able to avenge the 2 losses this season. I think Boise State gets it done tonight, man. How are you feeling about this one?
I think I agree with you, man. I
usually go the other way, by the way. I don't know if that's a good sign for Boise State or not, but I'm usually the pessimistic. I thought there was a real chance they'd lose yesterday. I go into this one as confident as I've been in a while about this team winning this game.
Ooh. I don't know if I can go that far. I don't. I think you're still looking at – I mean, I think the thing with this Boise State team, BJ, is either way, it's like the game's going to be decided by 6 points. It doesn't really matter who they play. It's going to be kind of tight. I think you're going to look at a game in that low 60s, 62, 58, something like that again. If it gets any higher than that, it probably benefits Wyoming a little bit. But that doesn't mean that Boise State can't run. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think that as different stars emerge on this team, it seems like almost every game. Tyson Degenhart's been a little quiet the last couple games.
You're calling it Degenhart breakout? We're still waiting for the Shaver flu game, too. I mean, he had 15 yesterday, but he was 3 of 13 from the field.
Hey, BJ, one thing that I thought about that is that Leon Rice said that that Shaver's been dealing with that for a little while.
And hasn't practiced for a week.
Yeah, well, Boise State put out a video after not the Colorado State game. It was the UNLV road game, and they were walking down a tunnel, and all of this is Shaver was walking, and his teammates were behind him saying flu game. So he really has been dealing with something for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, they said the Colorado State game he was extremely sick but played through.
Yeah. So he's been dealing with this for a moment, and I don't know. I think they might see Shave finding a little bit more of his rhythm back, and Tyson been a little quiet lately. He plays big, but I'm just saying, like I think you're going to see him crack double digits for sure.
What's the coverage plans for KTVB down here throughout the day?
We will be live at 6 and 10. That game's going to get over at like 9:30, so our turnaround for the 10 is going to be super tight. But we look at. It's so funny, BJ, because I think some of these coaches and players that go on the road and they practice in these like little conference ballrooms or whatever, where they tape out the carpet to look like a basketball.
We saw that yesterday. Yeah.
I think it's funny because I don't know. It might not be interesting to them, but I think the fans would be entertained to see like that's where they practice right now, and so we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Apparently, Leon Rice has a little bit of a background when it comes to selling carpet, and the Westin Hotel, their conference room or ballroom or whatever it is. Yeah, they might want to talk to Leon from like 30 years ago about getting some new carpet in there.
How about if I've ever heard a tease or a clickbait headline there, that's it right there. We can't miss that.
Leon told me it was a stupid question afterwards, which means which can only mean that I got an awesome answer out of it.
Stupid question. There must be a day that ends in Y, or that'd be when I'm asking him, I guess. But Jay, appreciate it, man. Fun times. We'll see you over at the arena. We'll be watching KTVB today. And as always, man, appreciate you waking up early to do it with us out here.
Good luck, BJ. I don't mean to working either. I mean picking those games on that board behind you.
You got the board behind us. I'm going to get a little pool time. I'm sure folks are excited for that here. But appreciate it, Jay. We'll see you, man. We'll see you, bud. Jay Tust, KTVB, appreciate him for joining us. Boise State coach Leon Rice talked to the media. Let's hear from Coach Rice here in a second. As a reminder, we are out here at Stadium Swim. It's at Circa Resort and Casino. It's an amazing place. Even if you don't stay here, you can come over for $20 and hang out. It's a $20 entry fee. You come down here. The pools are heated. Oh, my gosh. Colin Mitchell's already in the pool. Let's see if we can get down here and get a shot of our intern, Colin Mitchell. Colin Mitchell and his friend are already in the pool right now, so I'm glad to see he's working hard on this show here as he's in the pool already down there. There he is. Yeah, nice job helping out with the show, Colin. He's partaking in the pool. Good for him. But it's a beautiful day down here in Las Vegas. We're having fun. As you can see, Colin's having fun. Should be a fun one tonight. And, again, thank you to Circa and Stadium Swim and everybody for helping us out here. Leon Rice, Boise State's head coach. Leon spoke with the media yesterday night. He spoke twice, so we appreciate him for talking after the game. And then once we found out who Boise State was playing, I went back to the hotel and had a chance to catch up with Leon with a small group of media members. So here's Coach Rice on the matchup with Wyoming tonight.
Just first thought is the opportunity to move on to the semifinals. I mean, once again, we got two great teams, and, by my estimation, two teams will be playing in the NCAA tournament. And we've had two battles with them. They control the tempo, and they're, it's a grind game, and they want it to be a grind game, and there's going to be 50 reps in the post. So you got to win those battles to win the war, and our guys are familiar with them. They're familiar with us. Let's go, just throw it up, let it rip.
Can you remember a guy like EK with just the physicality in the post and how hard he has to be to defend, officiate, just everything? I mean, it just seems like you guys saw it for that game in Wyoming where they just kind of decided we're just going to give him the ball every possession and either try to get a foul or try to make a bucket. And it's just got to be tough as an opposing team.
It is. It puts, like you said, though, it puts a lot of pressure on everything, and their style of play does too, with how many kind of block charges they try to get involved in and how many bodies fall down. And it's going to be, I'm glad I'm coaching and not reffing it, because that's a challenge. And, you need good officials to be able to differentiate all those things, because it's a hard. But when you have, like I said, 50 reps in both posts with Maldonado and Ike, because it's not just Ike, it's Maldonado, and they're thrashing around and falling down. And so you got to do a great job with all that and handle it. And, Jeff does a good job. His staff does a great job of playing to their style. And that's why they've been successful. The right guys shoot the right shots, and they all know their roles. And so, every game's been close with them, too, and they've won a lot of close ones. So expect nothing different. It's going to be a battle.
We've certainly talked about this a lot, but do you not even text Linder before the game and say good luck, or do you avoid all contact until post-game handshake?
We never have. None of us have. You never really do that. I mean, got a lot of friends in coaching, and, we just don't, you don't really do that. And, but, I'm happy for them that that was kind of a must. They had two must wins down the stretch, and they came away winning two close games that put them in, probably put them in the NCAA tournament.
To have, last time I looked, they were the leading duo in the country points, Ike and Maldonado. I mean, just to have two guys like that are such heavy parts that on most nights you can pencil in for 20 points each. I mean, what kind of, I guess, luxury for them, but challenge for the opponent where it's not just one guy you're trying to stop.
Right, and that makes it more difficult. But it's not, the other thing about it is it's choose your poison, because they surround those guys with terrific three-point shooters. And if you do choose that poison, they're going to have a lot of open looks no matter how you slice it. And that, they love that. So, you got to mix it up, and you got to give them different looks all night, and so they don't just get real comfortable.
I know you challenged me at the about the record in the quarterfinals or all that, and I mean, it was out there and stuff. But just to win this game and take a deep breath and be in the semifinals and just be able to kind of I kind of asked you after the game, but I mean, is there just a sense of, I don't want to say you're playing with house money, but I mean,
no, it's because you don't get to, in our world, all that past has nothing to do with where we are now, and So you don't take a deep breath because you wanted that game and you wanted to be able to keep playing. And, and with this group, it's a different group. So, I know the fans and all that stuff talks about that, but each year's its own year. And with these guys, I really, really wanted it for them because they want to play as many games as they can and they want to keep going. And we had a tough opponent tonight. There's no last night. There's no way to slice it other than that. I mean, they're one of the best 8 seeds I've ever seen, and those, so you can play great and you could still not beat them. And I thought we did some great things tonight to be able to step up. And I mean, you saw how they made 9 out of their first 11 shots. I mean, it was all we could do to hang in there and battle through that. So proud of our guys for that. And now you don't get to take a deep breath because you're in the tournament and staff will be working through the night to get a game plan and get things figured out and get it all assimilated to our guys as quickly as you can and keep them fresh. So, that's kind of the deal, and that's why you do play in preseason tournaments because you like those quick, you like those quick turnarounds and you like to get used to them. And I think playing in Charleston is kind of why we do those kind of things. And hopefully that helps tomorrow.
How much did maybe playing the 3 games in 5 days when you had Air Force at home, at Utah State, at San Diego State, you threw travel in on that? Mm-hmm. I mean, that kind of makes it like this too.
It almost does, Bob, that many games. And so I guess, the season was so compacted because of your pause and all those kind of things. But our guys that's the thing. I know they'll compete. They won't, the thing that you hang your hat on with these guys is no matter what the circumstances are, they'll show up and compete. Doesn't mean they'll make all their shots on that kind of thing, but they're going to show up and let the fur fly.
You had a pretty good crowd, but Wyoming obviously brought a lot of fans. I mean, you got a message for folks to get on a plane tonight or tomorrow morning and come down and?
Oh, heck yeah! Get them all down here. Let's go. Because it does help us. And over the years, you looked at some of these. I mean, when Mexico was rolling, when Alfred was there, they filled the whole place up, and it makes a difference. And our fans need to be loud and get after it because. Wyoming will, their fans will, and I think, like I always say, it helps your team, it helps influence the outcome because the energy that it brings for you.
I thought today Boise State had more fans considerably than Nevada. Did it help?
It did, and that makes a difference, and you should have more fans as the number 1 seed. You better have more fans than the number 8 seed. I mean, let's look at it, but. It's growing. I think that's maybe the most fans we've had down here, to tell you the truth. And they were great, and they were loud, and we had a lot of Bronco celebrities here.
I was going to say, your guy Kellen was here.
He was. That's pretty cool. And so I wanted for the fans to be able to keep it going for them. Now they get the excitement. We get a whole nother day here, and that's all that you're guaranteed is one more game, and you got to just let the fur fly, like I said.
Well, there he is, Leon Rice. Appreciate him for talking to us last night. Had to meet with us twice in one day, so we appreciate Coach Rice for doing that. He said it's going to be 50 touches in the post. You saw that. Just crazy to think about. Hey, want to give a shout-out to all of our sponsors. UCI, United Commercial Insurance, the best in business insurance. Brandon Meinert and his staff. If you're owning a business or looking to start a business, they can give you better rates. So give him a call. Check it out. He's a big Boise State fan. He's actually down here for the tournament. So United Commercial Insurance, they make business insurance easy. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. They got locations all across the state of Idaho, 13 to be exact. So check them out. The at-home shopping, the Skip app, all the great stuff at Ridley's Family Markets. The Blue and Orange Store, I know Travis Hawks and company are flying down today for the game. The blueandorangestore.com, or you can check them out, the Boise Town Square Mall, all the new Nike gear, all the great Boise State gear there, so we appreciate them. And Transportation Compliance Service, if you're looking to get into the trucking industry, 1,000 people a day are doing it, and they're signing you up. Transportation Compliance Service, TCS is the company, and great sponsor, great supporters of Boise State Athletics, so check them out. You won't be disappointed. and appreciate their support. Great stuff if you're looking to get into the trucking industry, thinking about a new career. Last but not least, Boise Dentistry Co., Dr. Chris Minert and his staff. They got 3 locations, Boise, Caldwell, Mountain Home. Those are my kids on the screen there. They do a great job there. He's a big Boise State fan, so if you don't like going to the dentist, you can go talk some Boise State hoops or football with your dentist. Chris would love to do that with you, so he makes it easy for look at my kids smiling there. So he makes it easy for you. BoiseDentistryCo.com. We appreciate Dr. Chris Minert. We are live, as we said, here at Stadium Swim. Just a fabulous place. If you look behind us here, it's just a pretty amazing place with the all the games on. They've got the sports betting lines right there. Texas A&M with a 10-point lead on Auburn right now. Illinois is only up 2 points at the half on Indiana, so a couple of the number 1 seeds in the 8-9 game feeling a little pressure, kind of like Boise State did last night, and the Broncos were able to pull it out. So we got the comments coming in. Perry says, Leon can't let the student win. I assume he's talking about Jeff Linder. Go Broncos. Jordan Morales says Jeffrey's always lobbying for calls. Notice that versus UNLV. It's going to be fun. I mean, it's the semifinals of the tournament, right? You're going to play somebody good. That's just how it works. You play somebody good in the tournament whenever it starts and when you get to this point in the tournament. So 4 teams that are left are probably all going to the tournament. It's going to be awesome, and we're just happy to be here and be a part of it. It's hoping some more Boise State fans show up. It's certainly been fun to this point. We can't do it without all of our great sponsors. You see them on the screen right there, and we just thank our sponsors so much. So ever since we started Bronco Nation News, it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. So we're doing a special right now. If you want to sign up, by the way, for a subscription, $35. That's half off, the lowest we've ever done. It's only going on during the Mountain West tournament. Just use promo code BNN. BNN35. BNN35 is the promo code. You see it at the bottom of the screen there. $35, half price, only during the tournament. BNN35 is the promo code. So appreciate everybody for checking this out. Idaho Central Credit Union, the sponsor of our road trip coverage. Lithia Ford of Boise sponsors our pre- and post-game shows. We appreciate them. Boucher Real Estate, you saw Matt Boucher down here. So all of our great sponsors, headlined by RowPaint.com, our title sponsor, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. They've done some work on my garage, my patio. They do an amazing job with the concrete coatings. So if you're thinking about trying to spruce up that garage, get rid of those oil stains or the patio, it's transformational. It makes a huge difference, and the rates are affordable, so check them out, roepaint.com. Tonight, Boise State, Wyoming, the game will tip at 6:30. We'll be live with the pregame show about 5:30 or so, about 5:15, 5:20, somewhere in that range. Just be ready on all the social media channels. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. We'll be back again, the live pregame show, courtside at about, I'd say 5:30-ish. Games at 6:30. You can listen to Bob and Abe, obviously, on the radio side. It'll be on CBS Sports Network as well. Championship game, by the way, if Boise State's fortunate enough to make it, 4 o'clock Mountain Time, and that'll be on Big CBS tomorrow. Big CBS tomorrow for 4 o'clock, and they got Kevin Harlan coming in town to do that game tomorrow, so hopefully Boise State will get a chance to do that. So it should be fun. I'm feeling really good about Boise State's chances tonight, which could be the kiss of death. I'm usually very pessimistic, but I just got a weird feeling Boise State's going to win, find a way to win tonight. So enjoy the day, folks. We're going to get some pool time in, going to have a little fun here at Stadium Swim, and we will see you courtside about 5:30 tonight, Vegas time, so 6:30 in Boise, 6:30 back in Boise. The live Bronco Nation News, Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We'll be courtside showing you warm-ups, getting you set for tip-off. Boise State still alive in the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. Checking out this show, whether you're a subscriber, whether you're just stopping by the social media channels, it means a lot to us. We really appreciate it. Boise State, by the way, a 2.5-point favorite tonight. 2.5-point favorite for Boise State. And I think the second game, Colorado State, San Diego State, is only like a 1-point spread. So going to be fun tonight. Can't wait to get over to the arena. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you guys tonight from Thomas and Mack around 6:30 back in Boise with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. This is Stadium Swim. It's an awesome spot. You got to check it out next time you're in Las Vegas. $20, even if you're not staying here, gets you in to watch all these games out here by the pool. And we will see you tonight. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.